Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to the channel. The annual Star Chamber meeting of the elected and unelected elites is just wrapping up in Devos, Switzerland. And it's their plan to control our woeful futures. Yours, mine, everyone's, but not theirs. They have impunity in this whole scenario because they're calling the shots. So if that doesn't trouble you, then I don't know, pull your head into the sand because something big is up. I think we're at a crossroads in history, the likes that we've never seen before. Just can glean this just by looking at what they're discussing in public. They're proactively predicting a brand new disease that is going to sweep the globe, just like you know what, not that long ago. They're calling it Disease X. And recent reports have turned up this disease is yet another gain-of-function experiment at a certain virology lab in a certain infamous city in Asia. That's all I'm gonna say. They're claiming that it has 100% fatality rates.
Playing a role in rebuilding some trust.
God, what else are they discussing? Oh yeah, the systematic clampdown of freedom of speech online under the guise or the moniker of building trust, because they deserve our trust, right? Don't they? You know, unelected officials, billionaires, elected officials selling out their population, their countries, their sovereignty. Yeah, sure, let's just give it to them. They know what's best. They're the elites. They're experts. I mean, you can visit their creepy-ass website and see whatever the propagandistic material that they're publishing, like this. I can't even believe that I'm alive in this age. So yeah, the overlords definitely don't want us to have freedom of expression because they're afraid we might hurt somebody's feelings. Oh my god, well what about the hurt that's actually being caused to people with information that is medically harmful, financially harmful, liberties are going out the window? Jesus, this is the Orwellian future that we've all read about. And if you haven't read it, read the book. We got maybe 1 or 2 years before this really cracks off, maybe even sooner. The vestige of our freedoms that we thought we had or aspire to have are just going to be crushed, totally crushed. And of course, climate change is another hot topic, pardon the pun. And lest we forget the hypocrisy of all these elites flying to Devos, private jets. What am I trying to say? Racking up carbon footprint that far exceeds entire cities, entire countries. I know Justin Trudeau flies a lot in his broken ass plane. Can Force One, or like Tin Can One. Meanwhile, he's going to espouse the wokedom that'll save the world. This is a load of. And they're just basically trying to use climate change as yet another boogeyman to cut down our civil liberties and reduce us to serfdom, essentially. I recently learned from someone that the serfs back in the Moyen Age or the Middle Age had 6 weeks off, like staycation for 6 weeks. And you factor, I guess, whatever they earned, you know, giving inflation, giving our devalued dollar now, they made roughly about $26K a year, which, I mean, if you're going to be paid to be a serf.
Self-perpetuating autocracy in which the working class...
Oh, there you go, bringing class into it again.
Keep in mind that Trudeau in Canada, prior to the next election, and I'm convinced of this, that he will propose a UBI, Universal Basic Income, which will probably be just like CERB, which is the emergency funds we received during the pandemic, and it'll probably be like $2,000. So A, you devalue the dollar, you weaken the economy, you disincentivize, how do you say that? Disincentivize, whatever. You take the incentive out of working. And still, $2K a month is not enough. The prices are still going to go higher. Namely in Canada, thanks to the carbon tax, which is supposed to, I think in April, supposed to quadruple again. It's a systematic demolition of the economy. And honestly, like, I can't fathom why anyone in this present day has not heard of the WEF. I know life's complicated. I know people can't dig their faces out of TikToking or fighting with people over pronouns. But holy crap, this is the true enemy. The WEF, the UN, the World Bank, European Bank, national banks, etc. These are all our actual enemies. Fighting with each other is not going to do a goddamn thing, actually, other than just aiding their policy and their secret plan to erode our rights and freedoms and our abilities to be
ugly bags of mostly water.
An accurate description of humans, sir.
They're telling us, yeah, but if you're feeling the pinch, the struggle, the crushing weight of, the cost of living, or the inability to pay your rent because rents have gone up, or mortgages are ballooning beyond the point where you can actually pay for your mortgage. Oh no, don't worry, you're okay. You're okay because we got diversity, and we have a green economic plan. Destructive policies, totally deliberately destructive. And history, it does repeat itself. It is cyclical. We've seen this. I mean, you've got Pol Pot's Khmer Rouge, which exterminated 3 million lives in Cambodia. Mao Zedong's Cultural Revolution and Great Leap Forward had a body count of about 80 million people. One of the main factors of this was starvation, which is going to be probably happening here. And meanwhile, in the Soviet Union, roughly about 14 million people met the similar fate under Joseph Stalin's rule.
Not the kind of person to say a toe-to-so. You know what? A toe-to-so. A f***ing a toe-to-so.
And for those who say it can't happen here, you're wrong. This is such a historical folly that anybody who found themselves in this situation have found themselves under the gun of. It happens. It is happening now. And of course, not necessarily, I don't know if this is part of the WEF agenda, but I think it is. Canada's Medical Aid in Dying program, otherwise known as MAID, so far has euthanized about 44,958 Canadians, as of the reporting of a CBC article last year. This is also parsed by the Trudeau government, including depression, mental illness. To me, that is extremely ghoulish and sickening, because the policies that our government is exploiting and foisting on the public is creating depression, is creating dire straits. And a doctor says, we can just take care of you with some paperwork, just like a pet, like a euthanize. We can euthanize you like your pet dog. That's macabre. This country is grotesquely macabre now.
Last breaths are sacred. When I imagine my final days, I see bubbles.
Crony capitalism is part of the agenda too. I mean, just look at the gross transfer of wealth that happened during the pandemic. I believe it's the highest transfer of wealth in recorded history. So it just kind of felt like a last-ditch wealth grab. The writing seems to be pretty boldly written on the wall. They pit us against each other. Right wing bad, right wing bad. We're totally distracted on who we should be putting a focus on, not each other. It's totally ridiculous. Another WEF talking point / plan is financial control is another hot topic, namely CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, which basically is tantamount or exactly lines up with social credit. And these are all being tested in most of the Western countries right now. I've been to China a lot. In fact, I've even had, I wouldn't say the privilege, but I've had the ability to actually look into North Korea from the Chinese border. And that is not where I want to live. And I don't think you do either. I've seen the place. There is no electricity, no water, no medicine, no money, guards everywhere. It's a lockdown state with nothing. Not one effing amenity. And if you want to live like that, then go there. Don't aid and abet the government to do that here. Because if you love communism and socialism so much, and you've never seen it, then you're a effing poser. How can we resist and deflect the entire world being orchestrated by the WEF, the UN, the World Bank, national banks of the world? Well, Javier Milei, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, the president of Argentina, he certainly said an earful to the WEF about the dangers of socialism, the taking away of people's autonomy, agency, individualism, and removing ambition from the human condition. That rhymed. That's pretty cool.
Today, I'm here to tell you that the Western world is in danger. And it is endangered because those who are supposed to have to defend the values of the West are co-opted by a vision of the world that inexorably leads to socialism and thereby to poverty. We're here to tell you that collectivist experiments are never the solution to the problems that afflict the citizens of the world. Rather, they are the root cause. No one better placed than us, Argentines, to testify to these 2 points. When we adopted the model of freedom back in 1860, in 35 years we became a leading world power. And when we embraced collectivism over the course of the last 100 years, we saw how our citizens started to become systematically impoverished, and we dropped to spot number 140 globally. And it should never be forgotten that socialism is always and everywhere an impoverishing phenomenon that has failed in all countries where it's been tried out. It's been a failure economically, socially, culturally, and it also murdered over 100 million human beings. Do not be intimidated either by the political class or by parasites who live off the state. Do not surrender to a political class that only wants to stay in power and retain its privileges. You are social benefactors, you're heroes, you're the creators of the most extraordinary period of prosperity we've ever seen. Let no one tell you that your ambition is immoral. If you make money, it's because you offer a better product at a better price, thereby contributing to general well-being. Do not surrender to the advance of the state. The state is not the solution. The state is the problem itself. You are the true protagonists of this story. And rest assured that as from today, Argentina is your staunch, unconditional ally. Thank you very much, and long live freedom. Damn it.
Whether you like him or hate him, you should be pleased that someone is at least standing up to this. Because someone has to. Certainly, my government's not doing that. And if you're in the States, your government is not doing that either. So we're kind of left on our own. How are we going to fight this? Well, I think number one, we got to stop fighting each other over transhumanistic issues, pronouns and whatnot, and stop engaging in arguments and fights and anger and rage when it's totally misguided. Our anger needs to be directed at these people. Seriously, I'm the patriarchy. I'm part Irish. And if you want to talk about white people who have been persecuted, look to the Irish.
Frosted Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious.
Look to the persecution that they suffered throughout history. I wish everybody would get it through their skulls that they're being played. So, you know, you can be as woke as you want until they don't need you anymore. So all this flaccid bickering is going to be our demise unless we wake up. I'm not saying I'm any genius. I've been on this rock long enough to see governments come and go, policies come and go, and agendas come and go. But this one hasn't gone. This is still in motion. I've got a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. So let me know what you think. Do you think I'm nuts? Do you think this is viable? Do you think it could happen? Or it couldn't happen here? You get some value out of this, great. If you think it's BS, then fine, whatever. And I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I hope this is just me just being cuckoo, but I don't think I am. Troubling times, buddy. Let's work together. Well, thanks to everybody. Share, like, and subscribe. Share, like, and describe. And I'll catch you in the next one. Yeah.
I thought I was going to be the starting center fielder for the Boston Red Sox. Life sucks. Get a fucking helmet, all right?